Okay, let's begin by first getting you news on the controversial Islamic preacher. The government has hinted at taking action against Zakir Naik just days after the revelations that his inflammatory speeches were followed by one of the Dhaka terrorists. Sources tell India Today that the footage of Zakir Naik's speech on Peace TV and all other channels will now be examined for hate content. But the orator claims that his clips on Osama Bin Laden and terrorism have been doctored. Take a look at this report.
If he's terrorizing America, the terrorist, biggest terrorist, I'm with him. Every Muslim should be a terrorist.
Terror evangelist Zakir Naik is on the radar of the Indian government. This after India Today revealed the influence he peddled with the Dhaka terrorists and Hyderabad jihadis.
We are not lying low. Government is very alert and government will take action whatever is necessary. The present regime in Bangladesh has been continuously working with India with full understanding, especially with regards to security matters.
Highly placed sources tell India Today that the government will watch last 90 days footage of Zakir Naik's speech on Peace TV, where Naik appears frequently. Information and Broadcasting Ministry will initiate necessary action against the channel if it's found to be propagating vitriolic speech. The government will also monitor the other channels for the content of his speech. The controversial Islamic orator and founder of Mumbai-based Islamic Research Foundation is banned in the UK and Canada for his hate speech. His controversial statements on terrorism, Osama Bin Laden and Islam have caused furore in many Western nations. The revelations on his influence on the terrorists behind Dhaka attack has led to a massive uproar against the preacher in India and Bangladesh.
The Shiv Sena demands it, no doubt about it. But why Shiv Sena should demand, I feel? It should be proactive decision of the government. Government should come proactively ahead of it. We should ban these people. What sort of Islamic thoughts are there?
If he's on the truth,
Under fire, the preacher has now broken his silence. Speaking to India Today, Zakir Naik claimed that the clips of his inflammatory speeches are doctored.
he's terrorizing America, the terrorist, biggest terrorist, I'm with him.
The one talking about Osama Bin Laden, that if he's an enemy of America, that's a doctor clip. In the Times of India, there was an article that came that Inspector Angre terrorizes the underworld. He's a terrorist to the underworld. So I said, what do you mean by terrorist is important? Terrorist means a person who causes terror. Now, when a policeman sees a robber, he's terrified.
With government now expressing concern, an intelligence agency is set to scan the content of his speech, a crackdown on Naik seems unavoidable. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, we did get a chance to speak exclusively to Zakir Naik, who has claimed that all the allegations against him are false and the audio was doctored.
Both of these, I reiterate, Dr. Naik, both of these, the one where you're talking about Osama Bin Laden and the one where you exhort every Muslim to be a terrorist is doctored.
No, every Muslim to be terrorist is not doctor. No, sister, listen, don't mix up both. The one talking about Osama Bin Laden, that if he's an enemy of America, that's a doctor clip.
Okay, that is doctored. Again, clip number 2, Dr. Naik, where you have said, and I quote, please give me a second, let me complete my question. I quote, I tell Muslims that every Muslim should be a terrorist. So in this context, every Muslim should be a terrorist to the robbers. Is that what you're saying?
These
are your words?
It's half. No, these are my words, but half out of context. But the full context is, I was giving an example that in the Times of India, there was an article that came that Inspector Angre terrorizes the underworld. He's a terrorist to the underworld. So I said, what do you mean by terrorist is important? Terrorist means a person who causes terror. Now, when a policeman sees a robber, he's terrified.
Okay, so you say this clip is taken out of context. Okay, this is what you say. So tell me this, Dr. Naik, why are you banning Why are you banned in UK, Canada, and in Malaysia? Can you explain to me why you are banned there?
I'm not at all banned in Malaysia. My relationship with the Malaysian government is very good. They have given me a Toko Mahathir award. Neither am I banned in Canada. Officially, yes. In UK, there was a thing which I can tell you in detail after the prayers. But it's totally false news in the media. I've got the highest award of the Malaysian government given by the King of Malaysia and the Prime Minister. That is Toko Mahathir.
So you're saying that the ban on you in the UK is misplaced? Because the government says that it is because of your hate speech that you have been banned.
Okay, so that was Zakir Naik, who was speaking to my colleague Padmaja, absolutely refuting the allegations made against him and once again stating that he is much loved and respected, and the reports of his ban in the United Kingdom and Canada are false. Zakir Naik finds himself on the Indian government's radar. In fact, sources have told India Today that the government is going to be scanning his Peace TV speeches. Yes, that's the channel in which he makes those speeches, Peace TV, and there would be action if the government finds that his speeches are inflammatory or, inciting violence in any form. The Information and Broadcasting Ministry is going to be initiating action. The government will be monitoring other channels as well. Viren Singh Gunawat joins us for more on this. Viren, now we know that the Shiv Sena MP Arvind Sawant has written to the Union Home Minister demanding a ban. The government obviously will now be examining all the audio clips and the video speeches of Dr. Naik. But what can we expect next? Will the Shiv Sena wait for, the government to take its next step?
It's very difficult to say right now, because even there was a speculation and kind of a rumor in the morning that there was a protest outside Islamic Research Foundation, which was completely incorrect. In fact, right now we are standing opposite Islamic Research Foundation office. Only 3 to 4 policemen and 1 Bolero vehicle is standing with a police bandobast for the protection of this foundation. But yes, overall, it's a very peaceful situation at this particular place. But what Shiv Sena is planning to really do, that is still unknown, because today is the Eid, and this entire area where the office is located is dominated by Muslims, and people are celebrating in an Eid mood. So definitely Shiv Sena would not like to strategize anything today. So that is one. Second, Arvind Sawant, the Shiv Sena leader, he had written a letter to Rajnath Singh, the Home Minister, saying that he should be banned for the making speeches, and he should not be allowed. Even he had said that the entry should be banned, because he's in Makkah right now with the family, and he will be coming back on July 11th. And he will be having a press conference. Our sources are saying that he will be having a press conference in Mumbai soon after he comes down on July 11th. So definitely we are expecting some kind of a demonstration by Shiv Sena. But when and where, that is still unknown. Okay, stay with me, Viren. We also have Kamaljeet Sandhu now, who joins us. Kamaljeet, you did speak to Kiran Rijiju, who said that they will first study the content. But the big question is that why no one has taken cognizance of the kind of speeches that this person has been making for so long. Why no action has been taken against Zakir Naik, who is allegedly making those obnoxious remarks and propagating violence and terror?
Zakir Naik may be in the center of controversy now, but he's been a religious preacher and a controversial preacher for more than 15 years now. His fan following is actually going up to 100 million, which obviously means that whatever he says is being out of Peace Television to many, many countries. There may be action taken by UK, Canada, even the likes of Malaysia. But the fact remains that right under the nose of the Indian government, he's been making those speeches. But the fact remains that the government has to go a very careful line here, because remember, he's a religious preacher. This can antagonize the minorities, and that is why what the government of India has taken is a safe line, where they say they will be scanning all these particular speeches that he's made so far, and if it is anything which has been found to be like a hate speech or a vitriolic speech, then perhaps certain action can be taken. But things are not simple as that. Remember, there has not been a formal campaign from Bangladesh, even though India has said that if there is a formal campaign which comes in, they will actually give cooperation to Bangladesh. Okay. But yes, these speeches have been made not just over a period of some time, but many, many years ago. This has been happening. And remember, even if there has been a simple complaint, the government of India could have acted. But right now, they've asked the agencies to monitor the footage.
Okay.
This is obviously in a public domain, so it can be much more easier. But just rest assured that Zakir Naik is not in India. So once he comes back, there could be perhaps a questioning. But the government of India needs to decide as to which agency will be speaking to him and what's the line the government of India plans to take.
All right. Viren Singh Gunawat and Kamaljeet Sandhu, thank you both for joining us.